Well, hi there everyone, welcome back to Wyther Farms. I hope you're doing well. Just a quick recap on where we left off in the last episode. You may remember I took on a harvest contract in field 10 that we managed to get finished up around about sort of early evening, something like that. We also bought a second-hand older style Vaderstad drill, 4 metre in width, that would enable us to direct drill straight into stubble. So we got both of our fields seeded in the last episode. Now I did take the decision to go down the minimal tillage route as well, so no cultivating or ploughing in our own fields, partly to support the kind of organic farming style that I want to do in this series. Now after that we applied, or before we did the drilling, we applied compost to both of our fields as well. And the plan was that we would use the rolls to do a second equivalent application of fertiliser after drilling. But having kind of done that, sort of partly my mistake, because I thought it would do a variable application, but it didn't. It only did a fixed application. So in some cases we were over applying and in some cases we were under applying. So I decided to scrap that, and what I'm going to do is apply some additional compost a little bit later after the first growth stage. Now, as you can kind of see, having gone through the night, our crops have come up. They're in the first growth stage now, but also the weeds have come up as well. So we're out here busy with the weeder, trying to get rid of these. Now, you may remember that I had a bit of an issue with the first weeder that I bought, so I got rid of that. We've replaced it with this one, and everything seems to be going well. Now, as you can see, it's tipping down with rain, but that's not stopping us from doing this particular task. So just kind of, if some of you didn't watch the sort of previous episodes, we made a decision to go down the organic farming route. So I'm not using any herbicides on any of our own fields, and we're also then applying kind of natural fertilisers as well. So at the moment that's compost. We may move on to manure and possibly slurry in the future, but we're trying to limit completely on our own land the use of any mineral kind of fertilisers or liquid nitrogen, that sort of thing. So we finished weeding in both of our fields, field 21 and also the little one that we've got back on our own plot of land. So that took us a couple of hours, and we're now out putting a second application of compost down on our fields. Now, the first application was about 80 kilograms. Now, this field here is pretty much 99% loam, so the application rate, although we're running variable rate, the actual application is fairly consistent across the whole field because of that. So I think we put about 80 kilograms down in the first application. We're doing another 80 kilograms now, so that's taking up to about 160, which is what the field currently requires. Now, we haven't done any lime application at the moment. I didn't have the budget to be able to buy the additional equipment, so that'll have to wait until after the next harvest. And so we're going to crack on with this, and then we've got some sort of fairly bold plans for the rest of the day. We're going to carry on taking some more contracts, so once we're up to speed with this compost application, we won't really have much more work to do on our own field, so I'll be looking to see what other contracts I can take on. Now, the one thing I did notice is there was an update to the Compost and Compost Tea mod last week sometime, and having gone to fill up the trailer, I realised that the price had gone up quite significantly. It was about 4 times the price. Now, I did look at the changelog for the mod, and it said that the export, so the selling price, had been adjusted and increased, but I'm not sure if they kind of got that the wrong way round, so you might need to keep an eye on that if you are using this mod. So I did actually reinstall the original version of the mod because it would have been too costly for me to be able to continue using it. So a quick walk out in the fields, and as you can see, our pH values are obviously pretty poor at the moment because we haven't applied any lime, but the nitrogen levels seem to be pretty good, so probably slightly higher than we need, but generally speaking that's okay. And our other field, small field as well, then that nitrogen level is either good or perfect. So happy with that, and now it's really just down to letting these fields kind of grow before we can harvest them. So whilst we're waiting for our own fields to grow and get ready for harvest, I need to keep busy and keep on taking some additional contracts. So we've taken on a harvest contract for field 27 for oats. Not particularly big fields, so this shouldn't take us kind of too long, but I do need to keep kind of earning some money, and I kind of made the decision that we're going to make some fairly bold steps this afternoon in terms of equipment, maybe going to lease a couple of additional items, but I need to size size up some of the equipment that we've actually got. As I'm sure you're probably aware, on Wyther Farms there's some pretty big fields, so there's some fairly big hefty contracts out there that are available, but not easy to take some of them because we've only got some fairly small equipment and they do take us a certain amount of time. So I'm going to look at changing up some of the equipment that we've got. That might mean that I need to lease a few more things in the short term before we can start to buy things, but I need to start generating some more income because I want to buy some more land, and I certainly need to start developing the actual farmyard itself, because at the moment we don't have any buildings or anything like that at all. Now, there have been some pretty good cultivating contracts out there, but I'm going to swap out this set of discs that we've got. I'm going to get these sold. They're only 4.5 metres wide, so some of the larger fields we're kind of struggling to get them done in any decent time. So I'm going to sell these, and then I'm going to have a quick look at something that I've seen recently on the Mod Hub that I can swap out for that's much bigger. So I've seen recently a set of chain harrows that have come in that are in different sizes, but the largest of which is 8 metres wide. So I'm going to look at getting this. It's not too expensive, I think £9,000, but we're going to get it second hand. Now I'm going to purchase this, so we'll kind of keep this as a permanent item. Now you will notice that I've got the working speed mod here as well, which enables me to be able to increase the working speed of the implement. So that's going to help us with those contracts as well. So I'm going to get this taken down to the farmyard. I'm going to drop that off, and then there's a few other items that we need to get sorted as well. So having purchased that new set of chain harrows, I've taken on field 20 cultivating contract. Now that's a field that I want to purchase in the future, and we've also looked at for harvesting contracts, and there's quite a few decent sized ones out there, but field 19 has kind of taken my eye. So I'm going to take that one on, and there's a few bits of equipment that I'll need to get in order to be able to support that. Now, first up of which is a second tractor. Having returned or leased and returned this 3650 a few episodes ago, I'm going to lease it again. And then in addition to that, I'm going to swap out our trailer as well, because having taken on a bigger harvest contract as well, we're going to need something that's a little bit bigger than our little old Marston trailer. So as much as I like our Marston trailer, I'm going to have to get something a bit bigger. Now, Richard Weston have had trailers in the Mod Hub recently. We see quite a few of those around my neck of the woods in the UK, so I'm going to lease one of these. Again, I don't have enough money to be able to purchase it, so I'm going to get one of these. That will increase capacity up to just under 23,000 litres, so that'll be good. So I'm going to drop the Marston trailer off, get that sold, and then the last thing that I've kind of also done, as you can see just in the picture here, is that I've also leased another class combine. So having taken on a fairly large harvest contract, I think we're going to need more than one combine in order to be able to do that, but hopefully that will pay off for us. So we should get about £20,000 for the actual contract itself, and I'm hoping we will double that in terms of harvest income as well to give us about 40,000, and then we'll have both of our fields that we'll need to harvest as well. So I'm going to get this Marston trailer sold. I'm going to get the various pieces of equipment repaired as well, because we bought them, or we leased them all second hand. So I'll get them all repaired, and then we'll head off down to our farmyard and get a few things sorted out before we start doing those contracts. Right, there's field 20 just over the hedge there. So that's the cultivating contract that we've picked up. It's got a cover crop of oilseed relish in it at the moment. So chances are what I'm probably going to do is put the John Deere 3650 onto that set of chain harrows, get that to do the cultivating contract, and then we'll put our own international tractor on the Richard Weston trailer and use that to run corn cart. So I'm going to drop these off in the yard. We'll get the implement swapped over, and then we'll start cracking on with things. Okay, so I've put the set of chain harrows onto the John Deere here. I'm just going to give it a quick wash down. It's a pretty filthy state, to be honest with you, but we'll just wash that up. I like to keep things nice and clean and tidy. Always told that if you looked after your machinery, then it would look after you. So that's good. So I'll get this done. We're going to use a helper to do the cultivating contract as well. So we'll just finish this up, get it over into field 20, get that underway, and then I can concentrate on doing the harvest contracts. So he's up and running, certainly making a big difference, having an 8 metre width. and it doesn't take an awful lot of horsepower to pull this, so that's pretty good. So hopefully this contract's not going to take a huge amount of time. I guess, I don't know, an hour or so maybe of in-game time, and then I'll have a little look, see if there's any other cultivating contracts we might be able to take on board. I think I saw maybe field 7 or 9, something like that, that was on the contract list, but I'll check and see about that later, and that'll help us just to keep generating a bit more income. I must admit it's nice to see some of these slightly older generation John Deere tractors available on the mod hub. I'm not sure if anybody's noticed, but there was a 1630 John Deere that was released on the mod hub about a week, 10 days ago, something like that, that had a squarer cab, and they were definitely tractors that I drove back in the early mid-80s when I was working on the farm, and there was a 2030, 2130 in that generation as well, and then the 6-cylinder engines were a 3030 and a 3130. So I'm kind of hoping that some of those might materialise as well. Well, I also took on that contract in field 7 for cultivating as well. This was a field that had withered, as you can see, and I was running course play and had a little bit of an issue with the John Deere tractor in course play. I'm not quite sure what it was, but I just struggled to get it to work a little bit. So I've swapped the tractors over. I've put the International on the set of chain harrows here, and I'll use the John Deere to run corn cart when we start doing the harvesting. So having got that cultivated contract underway in field 7, I turn my attention to the harvesting contract here in field 19. And as you can see, we've got both of our class combines running, and I am using course play again. Only the second time that I have used course play running 2 vehicles. So kind of good to get that sorted and get them kind of underway, as you can see. So I'm pretty pleased, and I think I'm just going to put a little bit of music on and sit back and watch these 2 80s classic combines work this field. But we're getting on quite well. We're about a third of the way through the field, I would think. So the 2 combines are cracking on with things quite nicely. Now, I'm not sure if you're aware, but in the UK we've had quite a lot of problems growing oilseed rape or canola over the last few years, and a lot of that has come down to a small insect called the cabbage stem flea beetle, and that causes problems when the newly grown or newly seeded oilseed rape is kind of first in its early stages of growth, and they eat away at the kind of leaves, but more importantly, the beetles lay their eggs, and when the larvae hatch, they then get inside the stem or the stalk of the oilseed rape, and they kind of eat it from the inside out and end up decimating the crop. So it's become a real problem recently. And a lot of that is down to the fact that they have banned the seed dressing, which had a chemical called a neonicotinoid, which originally would have kind of killed off the cabbage stem flea beetle, but it got banned because it was also having an adverse effect on other insects as well, particularly bees. So as a result of that, the dressing is no longer applied to the seed before drilling, and the cabbage stem flea beetle has kind of come back in force and really kind of destroyed a lot of crops. So it's quite a big problem in the UK at the moment. Now, our cultivating contract in Field 7 is almost completed, just last time round the headland now, so that will soon be done. And I had another look at the contracts, and we've taken on harvest contract in Field 18, which is soybeans, to go to Alien Grains. So that's kind of pretty convenient, and just next door to or near Field 19. So we're going to go and do that one. And I thought I'd take the opportunity as well just to have a little talk about what I intend to do with the original block of land that we purchased. Obviously this created our first field, which as you can see has come up for harvest now. So once we finish the contract in Field 18, we'll come along and do that one. And what I intend to do with this in the future is actually convert it into our full farmyard. So all of this at some point I intend to convert with buildings and silo and all that sort of stuff, and I'll probably be able to put some kind of animal pen in here as well. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to get at the moment, but I think if we're going to go and keep with the organic route of things, then I'll certainly want some manure and slurry production, so probably pigs and cows, but I'll have to see. And then the grass field that's just over the hedge there, I think I'm keen to sort of purchase that one as well, and probably use that as a bit of an animal extension in the future, and keep it under grass so we've got something for hay and silage in the future. So that's the plan. That's going to be a few episodes down the line, but hopefully we'll be able to get enough income and money from these contracts that we're doing, and the income from our 2 fields, so that we can start to expand. Well, our harvest contract in Field 19 is finished now, so we're just emptying out the combines. Now, I don't think I'm going to get a full trailer out of this in terms of additional harvest income, but hopefully we'll make around about 30,000 in total. So once we've done this, we're going to head over to Field 18, make a start on that. We managed to get this field finished a lot quicker than I thought we would, so we should be able to get Field 18 done this evening, and then we'll maybe make a start on both of our 2 fields tomorrow. We're just heading around the track, and I've got to cut a little gap through the hedge here. I thought there was an existing one already, but we'll get the chainsaw out and we'll cut down the fence post in the middle of the hedge. That'll open up a gap for us, and then we'll be able to start on Field 18. Well, it hasn't taken us long to make a bit of a dent in this field. I guess we are probably well over halfway through now. So time's coming up to about 6:45 in the evening. Sun's beginning to set, as you can see, but we've cracked through this one pretty quickly. Now, Field 17, which I think is probably the biggest field on the map, either that or Field 16, has been up for contract, for harvest contract all day. And I kind of thought it was too big to take on, but I'm really tempted because it's worth 45,000 as a contract value, and I'm guessing we probably get about, I don't know, somewhere between 20 and 30,000 worth of harvest income, and I'm really tempted to do it, but you'll have to wait until next episode to see if I do or not, because that's going to be it for today's video. So I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, then give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. So thanks for watching. Whatever you're doing, wherever you are, stay safe, take care, and I will catch you on the farm next time. Bye for now.